Hey guys, so today we're going to be building a Hexastix. As you can see, it's a really cool looking figure. It's made up of 4 of these hexagonal tubes. Now I know you're probably looking at this and thinking that it looks way too complicated that you could build, but it's actually not that bad because all of it interlocks really nicely. And it's actually kind of fun to build and it looks really awesome. So let's get into the build here. So what you're going to need for this is 72 pencils, I got 72 count there, and some rubber bands. I got a pack with a bunch of different variety here, which you'll see why is helpful later, but at minimum you need at least 8 rubber bands, and if you can get them all the same size, that's even better. Alright, so to start, I'm starting with the smallest variety here, the blue rubber bands, just for the beginning. And then as we expand it, we're going to eventually get to the bigger purple ones here. So to start, we're going to take 7 pencils. And as you can see, they make this nice hexagonal shape. So take 7 pencils, put them together like this, and we're just going to wrap this rubber band around the eraser side like that. Then we're going to take 2 pencils and we have to split this into 2, 3, and 2, which I will show like this. So we're splitting them, the original stack, into 2 sections like this of 2, 3, and 2. Then take 2 more pencils. The beginning here is a little tricky, but once we get going it's going to be a lot easier. And you're going to split them into 2, 3, 2 again, but at a different angle. It doesn't matter what angle. So you want to start on the outside, and we're just going to split these 2 here off. And I recommend kind of just trying to hold it all together at the top. So we're going to split 2 here off, and then we're going to split 3 off, and then another 2. So now we've split them 2 ways, and then these 2 are going to go in parallel to the first 2. Again, it helps when you're kind of holding the top just to hold these pencils in place. And then we're going to put another 2 that are parallel going through the same way as the second 2 we put on. And then once we get those in, we're going to put a rubber band around the top here. I'll show you guys in a bit. Then we're going to rubber band all of the other ones we put in. So I know that was probably a little hard to follow, so let's go over what we did again. So you can see by looking down the front here, we have them split 2, 3, and 2 this way. And then we also have this stick going through it 2, 3, 2 that way. So then we have 4 on each of these and 7 for the center one. And then once you get it all sorted out, you just want to center it as much as possible so that way they're all even like this. So once you get past this, it's not too hard after this. So then once you get this sorted, you want to set it down in front of you so that this original stick of 7 is facing you. Then we're just going to push it down, like push the whole structure down, and you want to take some more pencils, and as you push it down you should start to see these holes form, and then you can easily stick these pencils right down through them like that. You can usually get 4, sometimes 5. Then we're going to stick a rubber band around those. Just scoot them down and stick a rubber band around that there. So then what that did is it split these 7 2, 3, 2 the remaining way. So now we have this original hexagon being split 2, 3, 2 in every direction by these 3 sticks of pencils. So then the last step here is to make a hexagon with the remaining 3 sticks going through. So what you want to look for is, for instance, on this one, you can see that there's a nice hole that's formed here. So and we have 2, 3 now, so we know that the remaining 2 must go over here. And of course, once you get those through, extend the rubber band to get those, and then expand the rubber band on the other side. So as you can see, we have formed a hexagon there, and we have a hexagon there. So then again, we're just going to make a hexagon on the last 2 sides. Alright, so at this point, you'll notice that these middle pencils are slipping out very easily, which is very normal, but as you can see with these, we have the hexagon there, 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 and there. So once you get your all 4 of these having 7 pencils in them, then you can actually take these middle ones out, and because they're just going to keep slipping around anyways, so we're just going to remove those. So now we have 4 hexagonal staffs of pencils, and again you just want to try and center them around each other, and it's going to keep everything more balanced as we go along. And then I also just took this middle staff of pencils here and flipped them around so that the eraser sides are all balanced no matter which way you look at it. Like we have erasers on top here, then no erasers there. Just a little thing to balance it out. You don't have to do it, but so that's that. So next what we're going to do is, once we have this main center core done, it's really easy, because all we have to do is we're going to basically take these hexagons and move the pencils out 1 layer. So if we look like here, we have a nice way to fit the pencil in there. So we're just going to put another layer of pencils all around the outside. And as you go along, you're going to start to see more holes forming that will allow the pencil to like smoothly fit in there and be snug. But you want to get a rubber band a little bigger than these, or you can just expand the rubber bands as you go out and just put another band around them. So that's what we're going to do here. Alright, so here's a little update. As you can see, the blue ring is the original ring, and I'm not completely surrounding it. I'm just kind of putting pencils wherever they want to sit nicely, and I've done that for a couple sides, and I'm just rubber banding them as I go along. So I'm going to continue to just work my way around different tubes here and continue putting pencils till I've completed the rings on all 4 of them. Just completed the second layer, and if you're building this, you'll probably notice that all the pencils are gone because there's exactly 72 used to make it so far. But we're not quite done yet, because we're going to actually eventually end up taking all these pencils out to use for the final layer of this design. But as you can see, the blue layer we had originally has now been expanded out 1, and we have another layer around that on all of these sides here. So now what we're going to do to make this, first what we're going to do is take the rubber bands, the pencils here that are bound by blue rubber bands, we're going to take those out of every center. I actually ended up adding another rubber band around this second layer here because the pencils were kind of sliding around a bit. So I'm going to continue to remove the centers of all of them, and yeah. So we have removed the centers of all of these pieces. Again, I'm going to try and just center everything a little bit, make sure that it's all looking symmetrical here. Alright, so for the final step, since we're going to have to sort of remove these pencils as we build it, what I recommend doing is taking a pencil and first expanding all of the corners. So like this corner, 6 corners on each one. Move the corner out one, so then you can put a rubber band around it and then work on moving the edges out. But we're doing the same thing as the last step. We're just putting one more pencil around each of these original hexagons. So let's get to it. So as you can see, I've actually only put 4 corners out because like this corner, if you try and put a pencil in, the next pencil that you put in is just going to rest right on top of that one because we haven't expanded any of the other pencils out yet. So what I'm going to do is work on expanding all the corners for each one first, and then that way, once I come back to this side, hopefully the remaining 2 edges will have somewhere to rest on. Alright, so I've just finished expanding all of the corners of each hexagon, as you can see there. So like the rubber band's forming a hexagon, so basically what we're doing here is just taking 2 pencils and moving them out to the wider hexagon. And we already have nice little slots in each side for them for the most part. So let's finish this off. So there is our first tube done. You can see it forms this nice, even, regular hexagon. That looks very nice. So all I'm doing is just taking the rubber band off these top and moving 2 out in each spot. So let's finish off the remaining 3 sides. And there is our finished Hexastix. As you can see, all 4 sides have a nice, even hexagon, and overall it looks very good. If you notice on the inside's actually hollow. It's about the size of a tennis ball, and for those that love math out there, the inside is a rhombic dodecahedron, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, that is how to build a Hexastix. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.